Welcome to Olympian Water Testing, giving you the best in water analysis. Today we're looking at Save the Water, uranium contaminated water in the United States, ordinary men's, women's, and children's kryptonite. What is going on here? Uranium is a naturally occurring radioactive element. This element is often found in nature and can be mined and processed into a metal. The processed metal has played a major role in military weapons programs and power generation, but today its legacy lives on in people's homes and drinking water. So while it may be used for something to protect in the past, now it's something that's more of a detriment. Researchers are continuing to explore the journey of uranium's migration into drinking water, the possibility for harm, and the innovation necessary for cleaning up. How does uranium get into the drinking water? From water near weapons factories, phosphate fertilized farms, and uranium mines. So uranium appears naturally in rocks, soil, and groundwater, and the element is typically very low levels that does not pose a risk to humans and animals. The EPA has set the maximum containment level, or MCL, for uranium in drinking water as 30 per liter. Despite that limit, the levels of uranium may be higher than normal near factories that process uranium. Uranium is used to build weapons, and farms also use uranium in phosphate fertilizer, and lastly, uranium is processed in uranium mines. Uranium-contaminated soils can pollute groundwater near these sites, which may appear in drinking water supplies and water sources used for irrigation in homes. For example, families and individuals in the Navajo Nation live near the uranium mines and mills, where approximately 30 million tons of uranium ore were extracted between 1944 and 1986. Although the mines are closed today, 500 abandoned mines remain on the land. And groundwater has elevated levels of radiation. The EPA has warned that the people living near the mines are at risk of drinking contaminated water by using unregulated water supplies or not following safe water collection practices. And in addition to all this, the high levels of uranium have recently been reported in farming regions of the western United States, which are due to overpumping natural groundwater reserves that have uranium content. In some regions, drought or irrigation needs or may cause water scarcity. In an effort to collect water, groundwater pumping pulls surface water deep into the earth, which is tapped by wells that supply drinking water. In 2015, researchers at the University of Nebraska reported that nearly 2 million, it's huge, American and California's Central Valley and the Midwest live within a half mile of groundwater containing unhealthy levels of uranium. And that's not to say it just isolated to this region. It could be in your region too. You have to test and check. So concerns about uranium contamination are widespread. So what are the effects of it? Well, kidney damage, the risk of cancer, and just lots of money. And the CDC has classified the chemical element drinking uranium as a greater concern, the possible effects of radiation from contact exposure. And as we all know, that's a health risk. It can lead to several issues. Kidney damage is the most likely outcome. There's also cancer. Radioactive elements are just not good. Also, it costs a lot of money. So what are some solutions? There are individual actions that can be taken to first test and then treat the water, which is especially important. And if there's a level of exposure above the allowable amount, people need to install a household water purification unit. Now, that's the way to stop it if you find that you have high levels of uranium or high levels of something. But how do you actually know if you do? Well, the only way is to test it. So it's always a good idea to periodically test your water for high levels of uranium.